Hey everyone, happy Thursday. I'm really excited to talk tonight. So we're going to go over some business logistics and then talk about live events a little bit, actually in reverse order. So we're going to talk about Super Weekend and any takeaways that anyone had from that. Unfortunately, I was not able to be there, which sucks. But I have to say, the best thing ever, my birthday was Saturday. I didn't really look at my phone too much during the wedding or afterwards. We got home super late. But Sunday morning, I was laying in bed just like going through my messages, and I opened one up from Kim Meyer on my Instagram. And it was literally the whole gym full in Waterloo screaming happy birthday to me. Like, I literally teared up a little bit. I was like, Logan, oh my God. And I played it like over and over again. Like, people don't just do that. Like, normal people don't do that, but our team does. And that was really awesome. So I seriously appreciate that for those of you that were a part of that. But Holly and Ariana, I know you guys went to the Waterloo Super Saturday. Do you guys have any takeaways, either from information or just like going in general, like what it means to go to Super Saturday?
I can go first. I don't have my notebook in front of me because I'm an idiot and I forgot it, but and it's actually not even here. But I would just say that, like, I don't know, just going just kind of relights the fire that you have under you, and just seeing everybody in person and hearing, like, we heard a lot of really neat stories. One especially inspiring one. I don't know. She just went through a lot, and she was willing to. I mean, there was a lot of us there, and I don't know how many, probably 40 or so, or 50. And like, just the fact that she was willing to stand up in front of everybody and like share her story when she didn't truly like know us all personally, was huge. And so it just kind of like reminds you that this community, like, it's not like fake. Like, we really are like best friends, even if some of us are just virtual friends. But yeah, it just relights the fire that you have under you and just kind of remotivates you and gets you centered again. And yeah, it gets you excited for what's to come, especially hearing from like Kim and Kara kind of helped lead it as well. So that was fun to see both of them as kind of co-leaders this time around.
For me, it was my second Super Saturday, and so it was cool to kind of like be able to put actual like names with faces and kind of feel like I knew people more. But no, I also don't have my notebook in front of me, so you're not alone, Holly. But yeah, it was just cool to connect with people. And like, I talked with Rubana, who was there, and I was at our last Super Saturday that I said I was thinking of training for this half marathon. And that's when she got the idea to do it. And now we're like 2 weeks out from it. So that was just really cool to talk to her and just kind of catch up and recognize people.
So I went to the Wisconsin one, which was really cool because this was my first team event. I got home and I was literally in tears, first of all, because this is my first team event that I had like my actual team with me. Like Summit last year, I brought one person, and it was Allie. And then this year, Super Weekend, Allie brought her mom, who's also a part of our team. And then my coach Leah brought a friend, and then a really close friend of mine who wasn't going to go and is also a coach from another team sat with us. So it was like a whole table of like my own tribe, which was so like fulfilling and like, wow, like this is getting so much bigger than me. And like, it was incredible. The content that we got was really funny though, because it was the same content we get from Julianne all the time, and everybody else was like blown away by it. And I just think that's so different. Like, it's so cool to see like how different teams operate, and like to some people that was all new information, and to us it wasn't. But we still had that opportunity to be together as a team. I want to say Team Rockstar Fit had 4 tables of the like 9 tables that there were, and Team Happy and Fit had 2 of them. So it was really cool to see that much of our team and that much of a community like there. So that was probably the biggest thing for me. Is this isn't my first one, so you kind of get you get the groove of it and you hear a couple new things every time. But just that aspect of being able to bring my own team along with me, like everyone always talks about it, but until you actually do it, you're like, holy shit. Like I'm freaking doing the damn thing and people are coming along with me and my business is growing. So that was really cool.
I love that. And I think just seeing people in person like makes this seem so much more real too, because we work behind a computer all the time and it can kind of, you might lose that connection a little bit. So I think going to these events really helps with that. So whether you go quarterly or like we have our team meetup soon, unfortunately in Iowa, for those of you not in Iowa, but Summit every year, like I just make these things a non-negotiable. Obviously last weekend I was in a wedding. I couldn't tell her I was going to Super Saturday. But yeah, I mean, it's a non-negotiable, and it's for a reason that I make it a non-negotiable. Like it literally is the best thing ever. And Logan even saw that when we went on the cruise. Like the first Tuesday night call that we got back from the cruise, Julian was talking and he was like looking, he's like, oh, who's that talking? And like he knew who she was now. And so like I think it makes him a little more excited, like realizing that these are real people and they really care about me and they care about us. And just having that connection as a team is really, really cool. So yeah, I'm so excited. We're all going to be at Summit. Oh, it was so much fun last year. It's going to be awesome. I'm really excited for you first timers. So yay. Okay. So business wise, well, okay, one more thing. We are having our team meetup next Saturday. We haven't decided for sure what we're going to do, but I'm thinking like meet around 3:00 and then go to an early dinner at like 4:30. That way, if people are traveling, they can go home and it's not super late, because I'll probably go to bed early anyway. So, but I'll post more details on that later. But okay, business-wise, I was talking with Holly this morning, and we've been going over this a lot as she has grown to Diamond, and I'm still learning things as she grows, and Kara's also rank advancing, so there's a lot of stuff that we are learning right now. We're in a lot of message threads, and there's just a lot of logistical things that we can kind of nitpick at to realize the potential in this and really like make sure we're being smart about this and running it as a business so that we can get the most out of it. So the first thing I want to talk about is how important it is to stay active. When you are an active coach, you are constantly building up volume. There will be coaches placed underneath you from yourself and other coaches that are above you. So it is somewhat like a pyramid. So wherever you're at, your coach that's above you is going to be placing people underneath you, and then those people can place people underneath you. So when you're at the top, you're catching all of that volume that's coming through. So even if it's just somebody's monthly Shaco order, you're catching that volume. So as an active coach, you're going to build all of that up. It's going to keep growing. The longer you stay in this, the more it's going to grow. So the more potential there's going to be, the longer you keep going. And so once you once you go inactive, your whole entire bank wipes out to zero. If you go inactive, it will wipe to zero. Yes, your tree dies and you have to start over, and that sucks. So if you literally just stay active, keep drinking your Shakeology, or if you have too much, order a 3-day refresh, something that you're going to use as a tool. I don't want you to buy like things that are unnecessary, but the things that you love. Energize, recover, hydrate, beach bars, literally anything. Power greens. It can be anything at all. And you just have to have 50 PV to be active as a coach or an Emerald. Yes, they're all necessary. I have so many products at home. I love them all. But you want to stay active so that you can keep building up that carryover volume, because Once you get to the emerald rank, then you can start tapping into that volume. And what that means is you're going to put 2 coaches underneath you. One will be your strong leg, one will be your weak leg. And I can go over that with you because that is going to be different for everybody. So we can go through your online office and look at that. But basically, you are going to get a team cycle bonus by taking 200 PV from your strong leg and 100 PV from your weak leg. That's going to be taken out, not in your bank anymore, and you will get a $14 bonus. So say you build up 300 on your weak leg in a week, you can cycle 3 times and it'll take out 600 from your strong leg, and that'll go away. But your strong leg is always going to keep building because you're building that carryover volume. So you're going to have that volume coming in. So the more your weak leg grows, the more you can tap into that. Does that make sense? So every cycle, you're going to take out 100 from your weak leg and 200 from your strong leg, and you make a cycle for that. Yes, your carryover is like your bank. So I'm going to show you, I'm going to share my screen here. This is Logan's business center. This is why I signed him up literally right away. When I started coaching, I signed him up immediately. So those of you that just signed up your spouse or maybe haven't been signed up very long, you probably don't see this quite yet, but I have not been actively growing his business. He's just sitting there at the top. I've kept him an active coach by ordering our performance line under him. And his carryover volume bank is already at 61,000. So he is an emerald coach. I've made him an emerald coach. So if I take 61 to 51 and divide that by 200, because it takes 200 of that to create one cycle. If I divide that by 200, I can cycle 306 times just from that if I would build up his weak leg. So that at an emerald rank is $4,287. Over $4,000 just because I signed him up right away. If I build him to diamond, it's $5,500. So that $4 jump from going emerald to diamond really does make a huge difference. I am also going to show you mine just so you can see the potential when you stay in this longer. If it loads. And sorry guys, I can't see the chat right now. So I'll come back to it after we look at this. Oh, shoot. Oh, just kidding. Sometimes my internet messes up with my passwords and I use the same one for mine and Logan, so I think it gets confused. But here is my volume, and I tap into this pretty frequently, so it's growing all the time, but I'm also tapping into it much more than Logan is. So I'm sitting with 134,000 in my bank because I've been coaching for 2.5 years. We have a pretty strong leg, so it just kind of depends on where you're at. But also know that where you are at on a leg does not determine the amount of success that you can have. So Julian has shown us multiple times before that she's on the inside of a weak leg and it's dead. Like nobody puts anybody under her, and she has built a 6-figure business, no problem, with a lot of work, of course. But I wanted to show you guys that because it's super important, one, to stay active. So if you can, hold on, sorry. So that's like one thing that you would want to bring up to your coaches that are projecting inactive. You want to make sure that they understand the potential in this in the future. If any of you are ever projected inactive, I'm going to bring this up to you because I don't want you to lose out on that. Sorry, my batteries. Okay. So do you guys understand that? I think it can be a little bit complicated to look at first, but I want you guys to ask questions if you have them so that we can clarify some of that if it's confusing. Yeah, make sure if you have a spouse signed up, you keep them active. Yeah, thanks for doing that, Matt. So I am sitting on over $12,000 in team cycle bonuses. So the more our team grows, the more you can tap into that and the more that you have to tap into. If you go into like the Coach Collab page, there was, Julian's been posting about this, so there were a bunch of comments and you can like see where people's carryover volume is at. Somebody had like almost 1 million. It's insane because she's been in this for so long. Like literally it just takes time, action over time. But yeah, you guys can calculate where you would be at too. Is this making sense? So income-wise, this is why we really push having everyone join the team. The team is where it's at. We know that's where it's at. That's why I started talking this call about live events, because this team atmosphere is insanely different than just a challenge group. Okay. Yes. Yes, the volume tab. So whichever one has the higher amount is going to be your strong leg. And you'll notice that because your strong leg is the one where other coaches are also adding coaches. Your weak leg is the one where it's just you until your personally sponsored coaches start adding coaches, if that makes sense. So your weak leg is basically under your control, and then your strong leg is going to be other people helping you. So you get a bonus just by being on the same team as that. So yeah, it should be one of the main tabs when you log into the Coach online office. So yeah, like Jenna, your carryover bank has got to be getting up there because you've been coaching for a while. So the more coaches we put under you and the more coaches that are building on that side, the larger that's going to get. So that's really cool. But you have always been an active coach, so that's always going to continue to build. So yeah, that's awesome. But I mean, there's a lot of ways that you can go into this. So like once you start rank advancing yourself, maybe rank advancing your spouse or your family members, there's a lot of different ways that you can play on this volume. So Kara just opened up her second business center and she has it under her husband's weak leg. So yes, follow me here. So her second business center now orders for Shakeology. So her volume from her Shakeology is going under her husband's weak leg. So he's getting an $18 team cycle bonus. And her first business center is getting an $18 team cycle bonus. So she's not only getting her Shakeology at a discount, but she's also making $36 back from it. Yeah, super smart. So it's insane, like how you can make your money back just from placing things in the right places, kind of, and just kind of knowing logistically what makes sense. So as we grow, we will definitely talk about it more, but it's just been, we've been talking about it a lot with some of the people that are rank advancing on our team right now, pushing towards Summit. So it's awesome to see like the potential with all of it. And yeah, it's really cool. It's really cool to look at because we're all just here for self-care, and Beachbody is giving us all of this extra income so that we can change other areas of our lives too. Yes, question.
Okay, so I signed up a coach last night and she automatically went to my left leg, which is, I think, my strong leg. I gotta look. Let me look. And that's the one that Brandon's on. And obviously I'm not doing anything with him right now. Okay, so my right leg is my strong leg. So, and I have Desiree on, I'm getting confused. Let me look again. So let's see, team. So Brandon and Maddie are both on my left leg, and Desiree is on my right. And Maddie automatically went there. And I talked with Holly about this kind of briefly this morning at like 5 a.m. But I'm just wondering if I should move her while I still can or not, since I have control of Brandon's side of things, or not. I don't see Desiree really wanting to run with things, but she definitely could someday. But Maddie is like super freaking excited, like 5 exclamation points with everything we were talking about, signed up as soon as I sent her the card. So yeah, so just a question on that.
So there's different ways that you can look at it, and Holly and I always go back and forth about this too on where to place people, and you literally will never know their potential. Like when Holly signed up, she started as a discount coach. I didn't really place her in a certain spot for any reason. I'm pretty sure that was when I was starting to go diamond, so I just needed somebody on my strong leg. Well, now she's bringing in all this volume on my strong leg, so I'm not getting any team cycle bonuses off of it, but my strong leg is solid. So there's 2 different ways that you can look at it. So if she's going to be a runner and bring in more volume for you, you want that to build up your weak leg. So goals in your future might be like elite or hitting different ranks on like the leadership ladder. And you have to have a larger weak leg volume for that. So we do want to build that up, but you can also see it as, okay, what if your other coach on the other side goes inactive or cancels her account? Then you need to make sure you have someone else there. But I will say I have like 100% faith in you that you are going to sign up someone else and you know more people. So it is literally completely up to you. I wouldn't say there's a right or wrong way to do it right now with how early you are in this. It's kind of up in the air. I don't know, Lizzie, if you have any other advice from that.
Yeah, so actually I do. So I am obviously pushing for diamond. And something that when you said that question, I was like, I wish this is what I would have known when I was in her position. So you just hit emerald. Like you have 3 coaches. So like, this is my honest opinion. Build up that leg that your spouse isn't on, because you have control of the other one. Like Amanda said, what are the chances that, okay, if that person on your other side goes inactive or whatever, like you drop rank.
And that's the thing. So that's actually like literally what happened, because Desiree went inactive. I lost my emerald. Holly lost her diamond. It just like all went from there. And she loves Shakeology, but she's still scheduling it. She's not just letting it show up when it does. And so it's not like she ordered it after 5 weeks this time. And then between her and Maddie, I got my emerald back today. But I know between my Shakeology, Energize, bars, that I can always keep myself and Brandon active, even if he does nothing with it, which he's not right now. I just unplugged something with my foot. But yeah, so that's a good point, because that's exactly how it happened.
So yeah, what I would do, and this is just from someone trying to go from emerald to diamond, is build the leg that doesn't have Brandon on it to 4 coaches. I'd say till 5 coaches, honestly. And then build Brandon's leg to 4 or 5 coaches, so you have a solid foundation and you don't have to worry about losing emerald.
Yeah, I would go back and forth a little bit. If you're not too worried about like the income right now, I would try to keep them equal as you go, because you have to think about too, you need 2 of those people to go emerald. Like you can make Brandon go emerald, but you also like don't know what other person is going to go emerald for you.
Right.
But yeah, I would definitely put a couple more on the opposite side and then go back and forth. Because I know when we were building Holly to diamond, Kara really emphasized putting 1 on each leg until you get there, and really just kind of busting it out until you get there. Because honestly, like down the road, I don't even know how many coaches I have on each leg anymore, but you really need all those coaches because you never know who's going to cancel, who's going to go inactive. It can't just be 4 and 4. You're not going to stay solid like that. So I would say right now it'd probably be good to switch her over because you are going to keep him active. You are still pretty early in going Emerald. And, once you add more coaches, start to go back and forth.
Okay, that sounds good.
Amanda, you might know, I have a question.
Yeah.
Is there a way to make so like, obviously she's early enough on. Is there a way she can make Brandon's leg the strong leg? No.
No, you don't want that. You want your spouse to be on your weak leg so that you can build them up and double dip in team cycles.
I didn't have a strong leg. I meant weak leg.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. Yep. We made sure.
We like triple checked it when I signed him up.
Yeah, that's one thing that I talk about a lot because so for me, I need to build up my weak leg more. So if you look at my business center, my legs are pretty equal coach wise, but I also have like 2 potential diamonds on my left with 2 emeralds on my right. So I really need somebody like 1 or 2 people on my right, at least, that are going to shoot for diamond. And Jenna is on her way there. So that's awesome. But then once you jump, so 1 star to 2 star has to be a diamond on each leg. It can't be 2 on the same leg. Same with going from 3 star to 4 star. It has to be 2 on each leg. So what I actually did, last month, I think it was just last month, I canceled my mom's coach account, and in 6 months I can sign her back up on my weak leg. So then I can build up her business. I can allow her to keep that income, get her Shakeology paid for, and I can build her to diamond and let her have that income because it's going to help me cycle. It's going to help me tap into my own carryover volume that I already have. And if it helps me rank advance, there's bonuses at 2 star, 5 star, so it's definitely, more down the road thinking, but there's so many possibilities. I do not know how many she has on each leg. I do know, like, once you start to rank advance, you have to have a certain number of personally sponsored coaches active. So she's shooting for 4 star right now, and you have to have 16 coaches active. So it's definitely more than 4 on each leg. It's at least 8, which probably means more like 12 or 13 on each leg, to make sure that you always have enough active. So it's continual growth and continuing to add people to our tribe and take them to live events and, just show them. Yeah, so when you're going, shoot for 1 to 2 people, yes, become solid, which is really awesome. Holly has done an awesome job at this. Her diamond is pretty solid right now. She has, 2 emeralds on 1 leg and 1 emerald on the other? Almost,
Yeah, well, I have my mom on my strong leg, and she's emerald, and then I have Ariana on my weak leg, and and she's emerald, and then I'm trying to build Caleb to emerald as well on my weak leg. And I have a potential of a girl that just signed up at the end of March who literally just shared a post the other day and got so much traction on it. And then she messaged me and she's like, hey, if somebody wants to sign up, like, what do I do? I was like, oh my God, let me tell you.
That's awesome. Yeah, so kind of, I would say our strategy with Holly was to make sure she had her solid number of coaches, and now she's into building her mom and building Caleb. And, obviously she spends a lot of time mentoring her own coaches too. So you have to kind of find that balance there as you continue to grow. But for me, I would say, like, I don't tag a lot of coaches and stuff. I don't take the time to do that anymore. If you want to run with the business, you're going to come to me and ask me questions, or you're going to dive into a page and figure it out. So that's kind of how I've been with this. If you don't want to run with it, that's okay. I'm not going to like force you to see, post, or watch videos. It's totally like on your own time, your own thing. So I wouldn't say I spend a ton of time doing that, but if someone comes and asks me a question, I'm obviously going to spend the time to answer it for you, or I will spend the time to do a one-on-one. I spend my time doing these calls, that kind of thing. So yeah, if I slow down too much to just be like nitpicking every one of my coaches, then I'm not going to be growing my own business either. So that I feel like there has to be a good balance of that as you grow. But that was kind of off subject. But do you guys have any other questions, volume-wise, income-wise, how the potential of this really works? No? Okay, I'm going to hit end record.